What is going on, guys? My name is Clutch Sometimes, here with our PCL Season 2 Draft Analysis. Last season was very up and down. We started off a couple wins, lost a few. We ended up the regular season barely scraping into the playoffs based on a couple losses from other players, which gave us the in. And we ended up picking up Scolipede late and it carrying our team through the first two games of the playoffs. And we ended up in the finals against Paluki and lost. It was a great match. I didn't have anything to beat Gastrodon on Ditto, or else I could have tried longer. I don't know. It was weird what it was. Anyway, but we ended up Scolipede against Gastrodon, 1-against-1, and I didn't have the right set. I should have ran Advent Life Orb. It would have been an OCO, but I didn't get that. So, great match, up and down season, ended up a little bit disappointing. But here we are, Season 2. We started off in this draft 16th overall. And I'm sitting around there going, what's going to fall? But it ends up one of the best mons in the format, Landorus Therian form, fell all the way to 16th. So I had to pick it up. I was talking with Paluki, like, hey, maybe I'll go with Thunderous Therian, good electric type, hard-hitting Pokemon. Nah. And then once this thing dropped, I had to have it. I couldn't pass it up. Such a good Pokemon. Great attack, solid speed tier, can run physically or specially. Intimidate is a fantastic ability for it. If you kind of look around here, we are Star Trek nicknames, and this is our Commander Riker. Nice, mountainous, grew up in Alaska, just this hard, big guy. The Land Tiger, stab, earthquake, gets grass knot, knockoff, great utility in knockoff. Rock can set up with Rock Slide, Swords Dance, Toxic, gets Stealth Rocks, U-Turn for momentum. Also, you can run it special. As I said, you get Calm Mind. You can defog as well, so I can set and defog if I really needed to. But I think what this gives me is a big offensive piece to work with. And right after that, I said, you know what? What else is there? So I just drafted the two best mons available and tried to deal with them equally. So I drafted Mew. This is our Jean-Luc Picard, obviously. So Mew is kind of weird. What Mew is in the format is either the best Pokemon in the format or it's either the worst Pokemon in the format. Because what Mew does is everything. Absolutely everything. But if you don't have a proper draft, I haven't quite looked too far into it yet, but you don't have a proper draft, Mew becomes one-dimensional, and you don't want that. So I think where my draft is, I think it can run Mew in more offensive roles, and not just have it be my defogger or my cleric. So being able to do that is absolutely great. But Mew gets reliable recovery, every TM in the game, and tutor move in the game, and everything you could ever want in a Pokemon. Oh man, I need to burn something this week. Oh, Will-O-Wisp. You can just focus on those quads, and you can break through defensive cords if they have a quad, and everything. Oh man, they have a grass quad. That's not what I want. Oh, we just run Grass Knot, or I can run Bullet Seed, or run Physical, or Seed Bomb. So it doesn't get Sword Blade. Don't let it lie to you. It does get Giga Drain. It can break through so many cores just single-handedly that it just is so great. Base 100's all around, so it's very solid. So that's Mew. After Mew, I wanted Ice Resist, because this is a Landorus, and Landorus does not like ice. So I was on the wheel, so I had to wait a long time because it's a 16-person draft. So I waited and waited and waited. And as I got there, I'm looking through the ice resist. And there's this Suicune, and I got Suicune. Suicune is unequivocally one of the best ice resists because it's just pure water type, and 100, 115, 115 bulk is ridiculous. There's and Suicune is just an annoying Pokemon to deal with. If you don't have the right Pokemon, if you don't have a good something that can wear it down, it can break its sub, it can three-shot it through rest defensively, which isn't easy at all. It's a total bear to deal with. Is you just get into these sets, Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald. You can run a Crocoon. You just run your Crocoon there. You can run Vincoon. I think is Roar, Rest, Sleep Talk. Don't quote me on that, but you just look through it. It has utility enough. It gets extreme speed through nature. So you could run this offensively because 85 speed is pretty solid for a wall. So you can 85, 90, 75. So you can run like an offensive set if you really felt like it because it's got great coverage. It gets access to Tailwind. So and Mew and Landorus and and Hiligo and Mega Houndoom all appreciate getting under Tailwind from Suicune or Whimsicott, which we'll get to later. So Suicune just sits there, and it's annoying. And if you don't have the right prep for Suicune, you lose. It's just like that. You bring the right Suicune set, and they don't prep for it, it's over. Suicune's just that good. So we're looking for more thing to take ice sets, and what better than a rock type than Nihilego. Nihilego is a threat. What Nihilego does is if you let Nihilego get a boost off, it's over. It's potentially over. It gets so much coverage. You get Grass Knot, Power Gem. It gets knockoff. Sludge Wave, Psychic, Psy Shock. It gets T-Bolt. It gets both hazards, 2 great hazards in Stealth Rocks and T-Spikes. T-Spike's one of the best Pokemon in the format. Also a Fairy Resist, which is absolutely key because my team actually isn't that weak to fairies. I don't think anything that's like super weak because I don't have a dragon on this roster, which I don't really mind because it's another ice weakness that I have to cover with that puts pressure on these 3. And I have double grass, which we'll get into that later. What Nihilego does though, it's something you have to deal with, and having to deal with Landorus and Mew and Nihilego. Oh my god, that's a nightmare because how do you have to find ways where Nihilego doesn't get boosts, but you also don't open the door for Landorus or something along those lines, or Mega Houndoom kind of just got no afterthought. Because like you physical, this can be either this is a special threat, and you don't have the walls that can contain them. You have a problem. You have a definite problem. So we're looking for more ice resists. I wanted to get one more really good one before I could start adding an ice weakness, and I needed a steel. So I went for Doublade. So what Doublade does, it also gives me a ghost, a nice spin blocker. If I want to set hazards, because I think spinning in draft format everyone likes because it doesn't get rid of your hazards, and some people like that hazard stack option. So Doublade, this is Arlo Forge, by the way. Now Nihilego is McCoy. Doublade is so fat with a Violite, and Steel Ghost coverage is really good. It gets the hardest hitting Gyro Ball on my team, and it's base 35 speed on Gyro Ball is really, really good. Gets Iron Head if that's just more consistent damage on a slower team. Gets Rock Slide, Secret Source, Priority, and Shadow Sneak. You can set up. You can go +2, +4, and then just click Shadow Sneak and watch things die. Destiny Bond, it's got some interesting, cool utility to it. I think Aerial Ace. I mean, there's a lot Doublade can do, and it's a little bit terrifying, to be fully honest. I think people have to prepare for is the swords, and if they don't see the swords coming, they got a problem because Doublade can easily set up a swords dance and lock you. So after this, what I'm missing with Landorus and Mew is a defogger, so I don't have to run these as defoggers. So I picked up a Rotom form. So it gives me a grass type, and it also gives me a fantastic electric resist behind Suicune. For Suicune to really shine and not have to see those T-bolts coming off of a Tapu Koko or something like that. I can just get right in a Rotom, eat up those T-bolts, and then get some momentum with Volt Switch or Defog, and I can fire off a Hidden Power. Leaf Storm is a great stab for Rotom to have. It can get dual screens. You get Shadow Ball. You get priority at Sucker Punch. Trick, so I can cripple something with a Scarf that doesn't necessarily want to be holding a Choice Scarf. You can burn physical attackers, something that I know like Suicune's and Calm Minds loves. But it's Rotom. Like Rotom does a lot. It gets kind of recovery-ish in Bane Split. If you want to get something really fat, it deals with it. Rotom's just a solid, bulky electric, and 86 speed is solid. I covered that already with Suicune, but my speed tiers, we get 91, 100, you get the 80s, and we double 100s, you get dropped. So, like, we kind of double up on a little bit. So I wanted something really fast, and I needed another defogger. So it ended up being Whimsicott. Whimsicott with that 116 speed is blistering quick and priority defog. As long as I'm not up against a dark type, I can defog on anything, which no dark type wants to be in on a Whimsicott Moonblast. None. Whimsicott's got a really great utility move pool, access to some really, it can actually hit sneaky hard. I know it doesn't look like much, but Fairy is one of the best stabs in the game. So being able to hit with that, it can give me excuse me, gives me some priority momentum kind of with a Memento. So I can go for Memento and I can go into Mew and set up, or I can go into Suicune and start getting up Calm Minds. I can go into Landorus and start getting a Swords Dance off. It's absolutely something you don't want to mess with. You can get Stun Spore, Switcheroo. I can give it a Scarf or Specs. Gets Taunt. Taunt is a great move for it to have. That's how I get. What did I get? It gets Knock Off. Great utility move for Volt Turn. Again, so 1, 2, 3, 4 potential members that already have Volt Turn, just to bring in big hitters for this team. So after this, I kind of needed a dark type because a dark type is super important. A good ghost resist. And I have Umbreon, the Enterprise. Also Data, because the computer. Q, the prankster from TNG. And here's the Enterprise. So the Enterprise, just the big ship. What this thing does, it's my cleric. Umbreon is just that. It can sit, and it can eat hits, and it can wish, and it can heal bell, and throw toxics off, and taunt things, and make sure it's not getting set up on with foul play. It's just big, bulky. It can be a curse user, I think. Yeah, it can be. I can run curse on it, if I really felt like it, because it could be a viable curse user. So, because it gets access to physical dark stab. Actually, it doesn't get good physical dark stab. Wow. I mean, pursuit. Really? I mean, that is an issue, I guess. I'll get some assurance. Would be kind of cool on a curse set, actually. Because assurance, you can run like a curse assurance restock set, like its own Grogoon, like a physical Grogoon. Granted, this thing hits not hard at all, so it would need a couple curses. Anyway, it can sit there, it can need hits, it forms a decent defensive core with Suicune and Doublade and Umbreon. They can eat pretty decent variety of hits. This is more of an offensive team because the meta definitely tailors offense more than it does defense. I think if you have more passive walls, things like Sublandorus or Mew in some fashion, they can really take advantage of those if you can ring the right set. So I tried to keep my walls as non-passive as possible. So after Umbreon, I have 3 picks left after Umbreon. So I kind of needed a tier 5, but I also wanted a normal type breaker because a normal type breaker is actually a really solid choice, I think. Because they can kind of break through those walls because they don't necessarily resist normal. So I went with Babero. I know, it's kind of a joke. We went with Wesley Crusher, the Babero. Babero is interesting. It's nothing impressive stat-wise, but it does fill a 70 speed tier, which my team was lacking at that point. It's also another ice resist with its water type, being for Landorus. And access to fantastic normal type moves, stealth rocks. I can run this as kind of an anti-lead if I need that. If I just need, I know I can get rocks up and they don't have any good hazard control, I can run Babero as a stealth rock lead. Stealth rock, I think it gets Endeavor. I swear it gets Endeavor. No, it doesn't get Endeavor. But you can fire off some liquidation. And like a stealth rock, swords dance lead. Just trying to punch as many holes as you can. 2 good abilities, simple and unaware. Moody is banned, so simple and unaware. So if I really need it to like not care about something setting up, it'll just do it. So that's Babero. At this point, I'd yet to take my Mega. So I'm gonna look at the Megas. It's kind of late, and I'm just going, I don't have a fire type, so I can fill out a Fire Water Grass core with. I can fill out a Fire Water Grass core with Houndoom. It will end up being Houndoom. So I can fill out this Fire Water Grass core with Houndoom, Suicune, and Rotom / Whimsicott. And so what Houndoom presents to me is the ability to just hit like a truck. 140 base special attack. Don't overlook this 90 attack, because if I get into a situation with like a special attacking ghost type, like a Gengar or a Blacephalon's in my division, I think now, I can pursued it back, and Houndoom actually can hit reasonably hard. Access to the best boosting moves in Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot is like a truck. I could run a Sunny Day Nasty Plot set if I only needed 2 moves. So, and it gets access to some really cool moves, like Destiny Bond's really neat on it. Overheat just hits like an absolute truck. Shadow Ball, Roar, Sub, Super Fang, Taunt can act as a stall breaker. So Mew doesn't have to be my only stall breaker. This doesn't have to be a stall breaker. This doesn't have to be a stall breaker. It diversifies a lot, and it's another ghost resist. If my team, which Mew likes to have, it's another good ghost resist. So like we got 1, 2, 3 ghost resists. So yeah. That's Houndoom. It's going to be fun to play with this season. So behind Houndoom is our last pick. Is Houndoom's Kirk, by the way. So behind Houndoom is our last pick, is a Selgor. So this is Paluki, named after my boy Paluki. He's a great guy. He played him in the finals. He likes his bug. He plays mono bug. So this is his bug. I named Paluki. Paluki was my Scolipede last season. And Paluki was really important in me drafting because I was out doing other things, and he was just throwing ideas at me on Discord, trying to help me out, and it was really, really great for him, great of him to do that. So, what Paluki the Acelgor does, 145 speed, it is that ridiculous speed tier. However, what it really does for me, it gives me that hazard stacking option, because what Mew right here, what the problem with I've always found with Mew is that it's weak. Mew is just weak. Base 100s all around just doesn't quite hit hard enough. So, but what Paluki the Acelgor here does, it can give me spikes, or toxic spikes, or something along those lines. If they don't have a poison type, or they don't have a good form of hazard control, they're taking consistent spikes damage, and Mew can just come in and clean shop after a couple good boosts. Because that means I don't necessarily have to run setup Mew. I can run Rock Polish Mew and punch through some things with the right set. So that is our team. I'm really excited for it. I think this is a great draft for just my style. I know might not be ideal in Elastic Swords. I'm missing a dragon, which a lot of people think is one of the most important Pokemon in the format, but I think I'll be okay without it. I'll obviously figure it out. Week 1, I think, is a week from now start. So I think I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this team. I've never gotten to use Landorus in the format before, and it's a Landorus. And I've got good ice resist to go with it. And Mew, I haven't said anything that Mew can't do. I'm trying to think. I haven't said anything that's on my team that I'm missing a lot of that a Mew would be. So I think this would be a good team for Mew as well, because I can run those offensive sets, and I can run just that. I think Mew's gonna have some fun. I think it's gonna be fun. So this is Clutch Sometimes, signing off.